Welcome to the Building Brands podcast. I'm here with Jazmin of Whitespace Agency. Hello, Jazz.
Hiya, it's nice to be here.
Thank you for having me to your office.
Yeah, no, it's great. First time doing this, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We will try to leave the place unbloodied.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Tell me, Jazz, what it is that Whitespace does.
Yeah, so we are a full service creative marketing web agency. So we basically do it all, from strategy through to brand design, to web development, to sort of ongoing marketing campaign implementation. So yeah, we are the full service.
Yeah.
So whatever that need is, we can kind of see, I guess, a business right from that start point, whether they're a startup, they're a large business, already established, they can kind of come to us and have everything in one place, really. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So it's very varied.
Yeah, I bet. Do you tend to work primarily for businesses in the Southwest, or are you one of those companies that's all over the place?
All over the place. I mean, naturally, we have got quite a lot in the Southwest, but, UK-wide, really.
Uh-huh.
So it's brilliant. I mean, we've even got like a couple clients that operate overseas. So, yeah, it's really, really broad indeed.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what do you do here?
So I am marketing director. So that's my most recent role. So I've not been in it, literally a couple months now. So yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. I've been here for a long time. So yeah.
And you've climbed the slippery pole.
I've just kind of worked my way up that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are a small team. I joined here in 2019, and yeah, I've been here ever since. So yeah, started off as an apprentice.
Yes, I remember now.
Yeah,
this is why we really want to talk to you.
So we had a brief chat about that, but yeah, I've kind of worked my way up from that apprenticeship level. Been really fortunate to have lots of training along the way, and just gone from there really.
Brilliant. And now you're marketing director.
Yes, I am.
So what was your apprenticeship job title?
I mean, I started off as marketing assistant.
Right.
So I've kind of progressively gone from marketing assistant, marketing exec, to marketing manager, to now director. So
yeah. It's
kind of just that natural progression, really.
Yeah.
Upwards, but it's been amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way, really.
Yeah. That is. I mean, as someone who also did an apprenticeship, which is why we're going to get on.
Yeah.
Although mine was in sheep, so it's
Go
not really relevant. Yeah. As someone who, I really appreciate working in businesses and meeting people where they have people who have come from the ground up, so to speak.
Yeah,
and of course, there's a lot to be said for coming as a degree educated person and coming in at what would seem a reasonably senior level sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's hard to replicate the experience that you get from starting at the bottom, right?
I think so. I think I wouldn't change it. I think, because I mean, I was going to go uni.
Yeah.
And then sort of decided, I've actually had enough of education after A levels, and I just thought, actually, I want to just get straight into it.
Yeah.
Just applied here, and kind of that was that. But yeah, I just wanted to get straight onto the experience, like you say. I think it's great to just get stuck in and get as much experience as you can, really, from such a young age.
Yeah. So what time what age were you when you started here?
I was 18, I want to say.
18,
Yeah.
right. Wow. And so you did your A levels. What A levels did you do?
I did English Lit, History, Media, and I was going to do an English Lit degree.
Right.
So I'm glad I didn't, because I'm here now. So, but yeah, always had an interest in marketing, interestingly.
Yeah. Which leads us into, why do you do what you do?
Yeah, so why do I do what I do? I think it was kind of one of those things, when you do your sort of work experience, back when you're a lot younger, did sort of some marketing experience, really liked it. It was creative, analytical, I love writing, so I really enjoyed that side of marketing and writing concepts, sort of really getting into data and understanding what it means. So yeah, I think I love what I do. I just love it. It sounds really cliche, but
it does.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It really does. But it's like, I never feel like I'm dreading work. I love coming into work. I never feel, in the saying of like, if you enjoy what you do, don't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel lucky that I am one of those people. So.
Wow, and you work in an agency.
Yeah.
Wow, because that Whitespace is pretty unusual then, I would think.
Yeah.
There are lots of really nice agencies.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to not have that little bit of trepidation on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're in an agency, because, you know, you have all of these clients and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think I'm just so lucky that, you know, we are a smaller team, but
Yep.
we all get on so well. It's like our own little work family, really.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. Yeah, I think so much about where you work as well as who you work with, isn't it? So if you get on
you
really
spend as much time with them as you
Yeah.
do with your family.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm really lucky to work with such great people, and yeah, it's just great. And I think that's a large reason why I do love working here, and I've obviously stayed here this entire time because of the great people like Paul and Rob who've kind of helped me along that whole journey. So yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons, as well as just the fact that marketing is just a great industry to work in.
Yeah, it is.
Although I'm very biased on that, but
yeah, it is. It can be real fun. I really like work, and there's always something different and new. I think.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff where, in my opinion, you kind of come across stuff and it's, well, that's always been the same.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, everybody's talking about SEO and GEO, generative engine optimization, all of that kind of stuff, and it being suddenly about brand. And I'm like, it's always been about brand.
It always
You
has.
know, you've always
Everything
needed.
starts with brand.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, some people could game the system years ago by, you know, doing, you know, ridiculous, shitty stuff with links.
Yeah.
And social media mentions early on, but it's always been about brand. And it's
Yeah.
but equally, particularly with the advent of AI and stuff, there's so much new to play with,
Absolutely,
isn't there?
and that's just going to keep going, right? You know, we just got to keep adapting. But that's part of the fun of it, really.
Yeah.
Especially in like a digital space, I think, because things are changing so quickly. You've
Yeah.
got to be ahead of the curve, and well, it's hard to be ahead of the curve, but stay as close to the
Close
curve
to
as
the
you
front
can.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that makes it fun. It pushes you, doesn't it, mentally? I think, to keep learning, self-learning.
Yeah.
And just keep developing, really.
So, did you? And it sounds like you always wanted to do something marketing-y.
I think I
Right.
did. I think, you know...
I'm going to slurp my tea, excuse me.
Yeah, naturally went like, obviously through this sort of, am I going to go to uni and do an English lit degree, and just thought, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do something a bit more creative, and kind of the classic careers quiz, you know, and marketing was always like the top one that came out of that. So yeah, it always kind of appealed to me. Love media, love video, love anything creative, really. So that's kind of where that came about, I think.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable. There's lots of people who like to do that. Do you think like there was lots of people when we used to run an agency who kind of thought it was going to be a bit like Mad Men, and you know, we were all going to have cool suits and smoke cool cigarettes and wear, you know, brilliant skirts. Did you think it might be a bit like that? Is it a bit prosaic compared to what you thought, or?
No, I think do you know what? I feel like everyone like romanticizes that, don't they? Like, oh, career in marketing, like. But I don't think. I feel like I was quite realistic about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, dare I say that? But yeah.
Which is probably why you're happy.
Yeah, I didn't have like too high expectations of like, I'm gonna go and work in London and go and do this big thing.
Yeah.
And I've always been content with that. You know, I wanted to stay local.
And you're from round.
I'm from round here.
We're in Newton Abbot.
Yeah,
right?
Newton Abbot. I'm in Torquay, so.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of people who want to escape.
Yeah.
But they tend to come back.
They do. I've had so many friends go and come back and stuff. So, I mean, it's a great place to live, right?
It is a good place to live, as long as you don't want to try and get here on a bank holiday.
Yeah. And then you're just like battling with everyone on the road. Yeah.
So, you're here at Whitespace, marketing director. How do you do what you do differently, whether that's Whitespace or whether that's you? How do you do it differently from everybody else who's doing this stuff?
Yeah, I think there's naturally quite a lot of reasons, but I think one that probably stands out the most is just being really genuinely caring about the long-term result for a client.
Right.
You know, I think really focusing on the ROI, which I think sometimes that gets a bit grey, that area about ROI and sort of how actually you're going to make a difference to a client and actually have a direct impact on their return, because it should be an investment and not a cost. So I think everything we do is very strategic level, and I feel like I'm constantly hammering that home. Is all about the strategy. It's all about from brand right through to the marketing campaign, to website, to video, you know, whatever that is. So I think that strategic direction and just really focusing on doing things properly and using research, using data. Everything's very data led. We're very transparent around reports. So I think that's another thing. We provide a lot of rationale as to why things have achieved X, Y, and Z. It's not just sort of vanity metrics of likes and things like that, impressions and clicks. It's actually what's that impact right from the source right through to the return. So I think that's really important for businesses, and I think that's something we do really well.
Yeah. So, I'm going to drill into that a little bit, if I may.
Yeah.
So, when you're, what are some of the ways that you're able to measure ROI that you think perhaps are either they're too difficult for other agencies to do, or they just don't do them because actually you could get caught out not doing
this
a
is
cracking
it.
job? So, what are some of the areas that you guys measure that maybe
I think
other people
it's
don't?
all in the tracking setup.
Right.
Really, I think what I've kind of learned is actually the more tracking you set up in the right way, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. You can either track things right from source right through to conversion, and then have the right sort of processes in place from sort of the client's side to measure that and feedback. So that getting all those processes in place as well is one thing, but also the tracking.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that, agencies and probably just marketers generally sometimes miss.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It is. It's hard to get right, I think. And I think some people probably just don't pay it the attention because maybe the client's not asking for it. Maybe they're not in the right mindset to think what's my return on investment, because quite often people don't understand marketing, do they? So especially business owners and things like that. But I think it's just making sure that you're doing a proper job in the tracking. And as such, you can then get a much clearer idea on your ROI, really.
Love that. And it almost always has to. I can't even think of a time when it hasn't had to work in tandem with getting the processes right at the client as well.
Absolutely.
Like you can't, as you said, it's like you've got you need the tracking to be able to feed into that. But if they don't have anything at their end that then sort of tracks it through to lifetime value and all of that kind of stuff, or if it's a B2B organisation, not being able to track where the lead came from and then be able to attach sort of dollars and cents to that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where we're sort of having to kind of provide that consultancy piece, really, to get people to do that, because it's so often not in place. I can probably say 90% of people don't have it probably in the correct place. So that's where we come in and really help with that, I guess. And then, just be really transparent about and looking at things objectively and not being biased, I think, is quite key. It's, it's easy to be biased and make things look a certain way, I think, results wise. So
even unconsciously, like
unconsciously,
this is clearly that.
Exactly.
Do you I've got two questions on that. So one is do you I've forgotten the second one because I was going to ask. So the first one is, when you started here, was it all about tracking as well?
I think I've been really hot on that. I think it was definitely something, the strategic direction was something that was always there, and I think I did quite a lot of just like self-research, self-learning, and just, I think it's one thing I'm quite passionate about, making sure that we're trying to do the best reporting that we can. So I feel like, it's something that's continuing to improve all the time, and it's something I've really tried to improve, I think. But I think it was definitely there at the start. I think it's just improved a lot probably over the years, really, because we've just enhanced our reporting and tried to make them as best as we possibly can for a client, really. So they have a full picture on how things are working for them and what the impact is, not just a quite basic, no meaning report, shall I say? Or
a bullshit baffles brains, as my granddad used to say. We'll just send them all of the reports, and then hopefully they won't call us for another month. There are plenty of agencies who used to do that, that we would come across. I think that's what's, for someone like me, because I'm a fucking Tyrannosaurus now. It's like, that's really lovely that people of your generation are entering the industry and are kind of leading with that stuff because it's possible, and then really leaning on it, whereas people of my generation, let's face it, lots of business owners and people that are fairly senior in bigger organisations of my age, we have no fucking clue. I mean, I've got a clue
Yeah,
because
of
I meet
course.
people like you all the time. But yeah, they just have no idea, and so therefore, until they're challenged on that early on
Yeah.
in a maybe a pitch process or something like that about choosing a new agency, they just don't know it's possible. So I'm really,
Yeah.
it's great that you guys are coming through and going, look, we could just do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, so my other question was, it's come back to me, was,
Yeah.
see, I'm old. I forget stuff. When you are producing those reports and working on them with clients or giving them to clients, how do you manage the process of, if it is that first time that they've had this kind of stuff going on
Yeah.
and maybe you've helped them set up a process or two internally as well?
Yeah.
How do you help them, or do you give them any help with the data, or are your reports so damn clear that you never have to explain them?
Yeah, I think that is my purpose really, I think, for us, is to make sure that, sorry.
That's great. Some people want to solve world hunger, stop war. Your purpose is to make people understand reports. You really are in the right job.
Yeah, I really am. Yeah, no, I think with the reports, yeah, like you said, I think we want people to read them and fully know what's going on. I mean, yes, we'll always present a report and answer questions. I think that's really important to have that client relationship with that. But I think all too often I've seen reports where it's got metrics listed and there's no meaning. And if Joe Bloggs was going to read that blank, they're not going to know. And then it also comes back, I think, to going back to sort of the client side. If they don't understand it and perhaps they aren't quite well equipped on how it should work, then how are they going to relay that to their senior team and I guess communicate the value of what you're doing? And that's going to help them as a marketer in their own business as well. So it's kind of like that bigger picture, I think, of it's not just benefiting your main contact, but hopefully everyone else in that business when they have to then relay that and communicate that back, because quite often you're relying on other people to do that bit for you, right?
Yeah.
If you're not having that direct relationship with a senior person is the decision maker, should we say, in that business. So yeah,
it can be really difficult. I love it. That's just so aligned with what I used to do at my agency. Sounds like you do it a lot better, which is why the agency is still here. I had a follow-up to that, which is for something like brand, because you guys do right from the ground up, don't
yeah,
you?
we do,
So
yeah.
is there a way that you're able to demonstrate the ROI on brand?
Oh, that's a really good question. I feel like I'm so ingrained in the marketing side of ROI, but I think brand and marketing interplay, right? So I guess it's what specifics are we talking about that's brand versus marketing versus web versus something else. They all kind of interplay.
Right.
So yeah, I guess it'd be what specifically of brand are we?
Don't turn it around on me. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't. I feel
I
like,
didn't know the answer. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a good question, and I feel like that's one that could be interpreted in so many ways.
Yeah. It's really weird because when you're working with huge businesses or huge agencies, they'll go, oh, well, we're looking at share of voice on the TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, are we? I mean, how do we, can you measure share of voice on social media very easily? And that's difficult.
Yeah.
But also, and so that's the answers I've normally got to that question.
Yeah.
But they still don't get to what's the ROI on brand.
No.
And we all know it's like, you were very delicate and gentle with me, and thank you for that. That's a good question. Like, don't be a prick, old man.
No,
It's really hard to demonstrate.
It's a really complicated question, I think.
Yeah.
Because like you say, you kind of got social listening, you've got so many things that you
Yeah.
can track, but how you put that back to ROI.
Yeah. Whereas we know,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
just
like
naturally.
offline versus digital. Like they're so different to track.
Yeah.
So digital, like everyone's championing that because that's the way the world's going, but it's so much easier obviously to track than some online marketing offline marketing that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracking offline though. Absolutely
Yeah,
key.
don't even get me started on the offline.
Oh, I've got some ideas on that, but it's you who I'm interviewing. So that's good. Brilliant. That's really good. A really good explainer of how you do it differently, and I really, I appreciate it. Great. Appreciate your honesty and the depth of the answer you gave.
Yeah. I think it's just, that it feeds into the bigger picture thinking, I think, because we are a full service, I think that's really key as well, the reporting bit, to kind of pull in all specialisms. So we can advise from a brand, a web and a marketing point of view at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's probably as well why they're quite in depth.
Yeah. And your calling is to make people understand reports.
Apparently,
so I think you're now going to have to figure out how we can measure the ROI on brand. Please.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a decades-long job.
Yeah, that could take a while.
Yeah. Just while I'm on my deathbed, I'll see you on like the front of the marketing news or something. Someone has finally found a way. Algorithms everywhere.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll see.
That's cool. And how long's Whitespace itself been going, do you know?
Since 2013.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, wow. A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it founded by Paul and Rob?
Yeah, so they're the founders.
Right. Okay. Okay. And there's how many of you now?
There's 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got you and Ellie doing marketing.
Yeah.
And Paul and Rob, what do they do?
So we've got Paul, who's our creative director, and he handles all things brand. So, he's got such a wealth of experience in brand, advertising, all things creative. Mm-hmm. So that sits with Paul. And then we've got Rob, who actually is a graphic designer by trade, but he also, he's our technical design director, and he focuses on all things website design development. So we've kind of got like the website division, the creative and branding, and then the marketing. And then we use partners, because obviously we are a small team, we can only do so much, but trusted partners that we can work with to deliver where we need them to. Yeah. As well.
Feels like you should be in sales as well as marketing. That was really nicely done.
Well, I don't think sales I'm that good at.
I think you'd be okay. Particularly if you can demonstrate that this will work, then you're 90% of the way there. Weirdly, your new hire, Lee, lives genuinely spitting distance from my house.
Really?
Not genuinely. I'd have to take a real run up
from
one side of the bedroom to the other and really hit it.
What are the chances of that?
Isn't it weird? Your guys were saying, so we're working with this guy Lee. And
so it's really good. Yeah. Really excited. So he's going to be focusing on growth. Yeah. So that's really exciting.
He's a real boss of sales.
No, he is.
Yeah, he is. Also massive.
Yeah.
I find him, I hope he never watches this, I find him intimidating.
I'm sure he will.
Even when he's just in his sandals and shorts, I'm like that. Highly.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Not terrifying. No, and it's weird because it shouldn't be terrifying, he's just a big, lovable guy.
Yeah.
It's just big. And I'm a small man, so I get scared by big people. So what advice would you give to you're still quite young, so this might be advice that you need to give to yourself next year, but what advice would you give to your younger self?
That's a good question, and it's a difficult one to answer, like you say. I think I would just say don't underestimate what you're capable of. I think just because you're kind of new to the industry and you may be like the youngest person in the room, or you've got a big meeting where you're having to present and there's a lot of people who are more experienced, more qualified than you, doesn't mean that you can't bring value. So I think don't underestimate yourself. Nice.
Can you remember a time when you did that?
And
okay, can you give us the example?
No, I feel like when you're new to something and you're kind of getting thrown in to at the deep end really to present. It was actually a report, funnily enough.
It's your calling.
No, it was like just a presentation meeting with a client, and it was quite a senior team, and just those nerves really, I think, of just feeling a little bit imposter syndrome-y and not feeling confident in that moment. But I think if you prepare, what I've learned is if you prepare yourself, you educate yourself, you sort of go into something fully armed with as much knowledge as is going to make you feel more comfortable, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But naturally, as you get more experience, that kind of just goes away, I think.
Yeah. How do you feel about it now? Do you love presenting?
Yeah, I really enjoy presenting. Yeah. Ironically, like at first it was something that I used to get quite nervous about, depending on like the client and who was in that meeting. But it was more so, when it was just people with different experience, and I think because of the age element probably. Yeah. But I think I don't suffer with that. at all now. I think it was just probably underestimating capability,
Yeah.
really, and just getting that sort of pre-meeting nerves
Yeah.
before presenting something, which is very normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And particularly if you've got to present results that you're not particularly proud of, that's also that I get the jitters with that still.
Yeah.
Where you're
No,
like,
for
oh
sure.
God, I've taught them to read all of these reports, and now I've got to go in and they're going to see the
Yeah.
big hole in the thing, and we've got to talk about how we're going to overcome that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that just comes back to like the preparation bit, because if as long as you go into that prepared, knowing like what you're going to say and
Yeah.
what questions are going to realistically be asked, then it kind of takes away that nervousness, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not something I suffer with now, but it's definitely something that I think is quite normal to suffer with when you're new to like an industry or job or presenting. Some people hate presenting in general, so.
Yeah. I think I know the answer to this. So I think I know how you might answer this. What do you do? In that situation?
Yeah.
What do you do if you don't know the answer?
I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. I was waiting for you to ruin it and go, oh, I just make up some shit because I'm in marketing.
No, I'm fully. I'll come back to you on that.
Great.
What would you say in that situation?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Or
Yeah.
I just throw to a young person. Do we know the answers?
Yeah. I mean, it's great if there's someone else on the call that can answer it, but
Yeah.
often there isn't someone necessarily. So I think it's always best just to say, oh, I don't know the answer to that right now. I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And as a young person who was feeling intimidated, or nervous about those things,
Yeah.
were there any other like practical tips other than preparing?
Yeah.
Was there any other practical tips you would give someone in that situation?
That's a good question. I think you kind of have to just throw yourself in, I think, at the deep end as much as you don't want to, and just expose yourself to it, because the more you do it, I'm a great believer in the more you do something, the more you kind of put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and get that experience of dealing with it, the kind of better you'll be at it. So yeah, whether it is, presenting or whatever it might be, I think just do it.
Yeah.
Just go for it and don't worry. And like I used to always think at the time, like, is this going to matter next week? Is this going to matter in a month? Is it going to matter in a year's time? Are people really going to care that much about my,
Yeah.
do people? It's like that whole "do people really care that much" sort
Yeah.
of thing, which they often don't. So you might, is in like
It's so true.
No, but you might as well just go for it, do your best.
Yeah.
Try and just be as confident as you can, and I think kind of the more you try and be confident, the more confident you kind of become. So yeah, I think that's probably what hopefully that's a few tips there.
Beautiful. Is this going to matter in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
1 week?
Yeah.
5 years is a great one.
Yeah.
I've been living my life by that mantra for the last
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, I'm very
life
much like that.
changing.
Yeah, it does make you feel just more carefree and positive, I think, going into things.
Also, it's a great way to deal with anger. That's why I've been living my life that way.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I had the reason I ask is I was with my other hat on. I've got another podcast plugging this 5-star podcast, which is filthy. Don't watch it if you're offended by that kind of by bad language and stuff, which I've bleeped out of this. But we are currently reviewing business gurus on YouTube,
Okay.
and they're obviously 98% odious men.
Yeah.
And there's 2% odious women, which is nice.
Yeah,
That there's some sort of equality.
Yeah.
They're all odious.
Yeah.
But one of them, who isn't particularly odious, a guy called Iman Gadzi, and he became a millionaire at like 17.
Wow.
Now, he was brought up in Chelsea.
Okay. Oh.
So something tells me he might have had a helping hand, but he seems really entrepreneurial. And one of the things he said about going into meetings when he was like 16, 17,
Yeah.
because he was dress like you're way older than you are.
Yeah.
Wear some quite boring clothes.
Yeah.
Don't wear the big
Yeah.
labels. Don't wear the stuff that you'd wear out.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts, trainers, and fucking nail polish and a t-shirt with
Yeah.
shit on it. But I'm 55 and people kind of expect me to look like this
See what
because
you-
I've
yeah,
got
yeah.
some sort of weird reputation. But I remember when I was starting out as in sales,
Yeah.
I was a shirt and I wore a suit and a tie until I was 35
Yeah.
every day
Wow.
to work because it was
Yeah.
like, well, that's otherwise if I dress
No,
like
yeah. No, I
the
completely
idiot.
agree. No,
Exactly.
I
Did you do
completely-
that as well? Do you
I
think?
feel like the guys here, they've always said that they think I'm like older than my years.
Right.
So I feel like naturally I have kind of always been a bit more like maturer than
Yeah.
my age. But yeah, probably indirectly I subconsciously was dressing quite mature and
Yeah.
always like tried to be really smart for meetings. I still take that seriously now, like
Yeah.
dressing smart for a meeting. So yeah, I think it does help
Yeah.
subconsciously. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of like putting on your armour.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, it really helps with the people that you're meeting. If they're senior, they want to, even though they may not deserve it, they want to be you to appear to be giving them respect and
Absolutely.
turning up in something that looks not challenging.
Yeah, I think,
can often be part of that.
Yeah, I think dressing smart is really professional.
Yeah.
You know.
I can't believe you just said that to me. I'm triggered.
No. But in the situation that we were talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
like not generally speaking, that wasn't just a blanket statement. But when it is like a serious meeting,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, mate, I think I've dragged so much useful information out of you. It's been brilliant. Where can people find you and Whitespace online?
So Whitespace Agency.
Yeah.
Whitespace.agency is our website.
Great.
So yeah, head over there, see the work that we've done, see all our services. As I say, we kind of do it all. So yeah, hopefully there's something out there for people to see, and just get in touch with us. You know, pick up the phone and we'll set up a meeting and see how we can help. Because
Cool.
yeah, I'm sure there's lots we can help with.
Cool. And you're on LinkedIn, aren't you?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
You're relatively active?
Yeah, I'm relatively active on there.
I'll smush your LinkedIn link in the description.
Yeah, thank you.
Forgot
Yeah.
how I feel like that in your bio. Wow, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, we'll do that. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
really enjoyed it.
it's
So
been 100% a pleasure. Thank you so much for being part of it.
yeah, thank you very much.